countdown, it will be green very soon. Copy, so we went softer in the front. Three are really good, we just need a little bit more in sector 2.
Hello and welcome to Belgium for the 5th round of the ELMS season. We're here at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps, a track just over 7 kilometres long that winds through the fir trees of the Ardennes forest. Now just behind me you can see Eau Rouge Rédaillon, an epic part of the track, and who better to tell us more about it than the Belgian driver Hugo de Wilde.
Yeah, for sure, we are all proud of this corner and of this track. As Belgian, it's always, mythical to be here. This track has so much history, and I don't know if I'm really, as a Belgian, I think it's the most beautiful track in the world for sure. But I really think it is, and that's why all the racing drivers, we all enjoy to come here in Spa. It's always special. I remember the first time I drove here, it was in Formula 4, so I knew it was supposed to be flat, but it was the beginning for me. So in the first lap I thought, yeah, it's never flat, it's impossible. If I try to go flat, I will lose the car and crash. I have two big memories. I remember when I was 6 years old, I took the Eau Rouge, but in the reverse side with my small karting back in the days. That was really funny one. And also, in Formula 1, so many overtakes here, I think with Fernando Alonso as well, where it was really close side-to-side battle. You always, one of two always have to lift. And also my teammate Thomas also had a really nice battle here. We got a deal with the track, with all the 4 Belgian drivers. We have a really nice lounge there with a really nice view on this magical corner. So yeah, I can't wait. From tomorrow onwards, we will have a lot of fans coming. It will be amazing. I would say, first of all, magical, because it's really magical, and then as well adrenaline, because as I said, on the dry, but especially on the wet, you always have this special feeling. So special as well. So these 3 words, I think it's really nice.
We cannot wait to see the drivers going full speed up the newly revamped Rédaillon. Now let's take a little look at the current championship standings going into this round at Spa-Francorchamps. In LMGTE, it's car number 77, a Proton competition, that's in the lead. In LMP3, there's a battle for the first place between Cool Racing and Inter-Europol competition. And in LMP2, Prema Racing dominates the rest of the category. Another car in the LMP2 category is car number 37, Cool Racing. Nicolas Lapierre is one of the 3 drivers. He's also the team principal. So we caught up with him just to find out how he manages the 2 roles.
Yeah, for sure. One of the strong points in my role is that I know the driver position. I know what we expect from them, and I've been in their position. I joined endurance racing quite early in my career, and I know what the team is expecting from them, and I try to guide them, to help them through the hard time, and try to bring them to good times in terms of driving, for sure, but also outside of the car, how to communicate with the engineer, engineers or to prepare a race meeting, work on lines, data and everything. And to be honest, this is one of my favorite part of this job, is to help young drivers to get better race after race. You know, like we had Niklas Scruton going to LMP2 from LMP3 last year. We will have Malte Jakobsen joining us in LMP2 next year. So hopefully we can one day have one or two of our drivers going to the top class. This is clearly the target, and this is what we wish them. In the back of my head, I still have the overall win, which I didn't achieve yet. Of course, being with Alpine right now and seeing this great project coming for 2024, obviously that's still the target for sure.
Tu y penses le matin en te rasant, sauf que tu te rases plus.
I'm lucky enough to have a beautiful family at home, and they are very supportive as well. So every time I come home, I can relax and change my mind. I have 3 kids at home waiting for me as well. So when I spend time with them, I can really disconnect and enjoy it. But apart from family and work, there is nothing else at the minute. Yeah.
From LMP2 to LMGTE and JMW Motorsports, we put up 2 teammates, Sean Hebsworth and Giacomo Petrobelli, just to see how compatible they were and how much they knew about each other.
Ferrari 250 GTO, easily, hands down. Yeah.
Ferrari 250 LM.
Yeah, also a good one. Probably never going to get to own one or drive one though, because I think the last one went for like what, 50 million?
45.
Euros? 45 million. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit steep, but yeah, I can observe from a distance.
We both drive Audis, I know that.
Yeah.
I drive an RS6.
Yeah, I drive an S3 2017. Good car. Yeah, reliable, comfortable. Actually, not very comfortable. Oh, has to be here.
This one we're at.
Has to be here.
That's easy.
Has to be Spa. The history, the track itself, the location, the atmosphere. It's amazing.
Other than Sean, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
There's a few in the paddock, right? I think I've been around a few years, so there's a few. I don't want to upset anyone, but they know who they are. There's a few drivers, there's a few engineers. It's nice. It's nice to be back in this paddock. Growing up had to be Senna. I'm showing my age, but clearly Senna.
Yeah, Senna actually died 2 months after I was born, so I never got to watch him. But obviously, I've seen countless replays, and he was really, really something special. But for me, that sort of era for me was Schumacher. You know, the battle between Schumacher and Häkkinen. Those days, I think that was my earliest memories of motorsport and racing. Sports-wise, I like doing triathlons. I've done a few: running, cycling, swimming, time in the gym.
I do lots of mountain biking, skiing.
Handsome.
A foodie.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same, but yeah, I knew you'd go for that one.
It's great to see the drivers getting on so well. So I'm here in the RLR M Sport garage. I'm just about to meet someone who's working just behind this door. Someone who works on the physique, on the bodies of the drivers. It's an important person of the team. It is, of course, the athletic therapist. We're going to meet Anthony Howard. And Anthony, do you have a sporting background?
Yes, I was a swimmer and was quite lucky. I managed to compete at the Olympic Games and picked up a couple of international medals on my travels, so I did all right.
Well qualified to kind of, share your sporting expertise.
Yes, and that was the reason RLR brought me in. It was to look at putting a elite sport mentality into motorsport.
So it's a whole package, I guess, even with, regards to nutrition, but also how fit they're keeping. Let's talk about when they're actually driving on race days. What would you say are the most listed muscles? What are the parts that you really have to work on?
Biggest areas that the drivers struggle with, ironically, are bums and shoulders. The necks don't take quite as much grief due to the halo areas and how the helmets are all structured, but how they sit in the car with rotation of the hips causes quite a lot of tightness around the buttocks, and obviously sitting and how they move with the steering wheel in the rotator cuffs. So these are the areas that we really focus on, and obviously then what's going through the back, a lot of tension, and also with the G-forces you take a lot through the suspension of your spine.
Okay, Austin, I'm going to ask you a few questions. You can sit up if you want. Come on, sit up. And just a few questions with regards to how you, as an athlete, how do you benefit from this kind of treatment?
Well, sometimes during the race weekend we get some soreness and stuff like that in our body, and Anthony is very helpful in that regard to kind of loosen us up and get us ready for the next day, because basically once we go out, the next day is brand new and we got to be on top of our game every time that we get in the car. And then also, giving us recommendations on where we need to improve so we could take that back home and work on that, and then see how we improve the next time we're out on track.
After a long-awaited victory in July in Monza, the French team IDEC Sport were in high spirits going into Barcelona. Unfortunately, the result wasn't there, but they're still in contention for an overall podium spot on the ELMS Championship. So who better to follow in the inside qualifications than the French team?
30 seconds to the start of the ELMS qualifying session for LMP3.
Nicolas Lapierre, pilote officiel.
15 seconds to the start of the session. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the European Le Mans Series qualifying session for LMP2.
Hanson, il pouvait faire un 3-9 dans les essais libres. M'étonnerait qu'on puisse pas faire ça à peu près, quoi. Sauf que c'est vite là maintenant. Là ça améliore encore, t'as vu là? Chaque pilote a un petit peu son moment à lui, quoi. Donc je les laisse tranquilles. Pas besoin de la ramoner la tête avec des choses qui servent à rien, quoi. Je pense qu'il sait ce qu'il doit faire, c'est un professionnel, donc
c'est pire, on préfère être dans la voiture, on est acteur, on sait exactement ce qui se passe. Là, finalement, on est simplement spectateur, on regarde les secteurs, on essaye de regarder aux caméras, est-ce qu'on fait des track limits ou non. C'est à chaque fois on the edge un petit peu, mais on préfère être dans la voiture, mais c'est sympa aussi de le vivre avec toute l'équipe.
Ah, c'est bon. Bravo.
Ouais.
Bravo, c'est bon.
C'est cool. On n'a pas fait la pole, mais on n'était pas loin.
Non, bah,
là, tu vois, on progresse.
Le temps, on ne l'a pas. Deuxième secteur, on ne le fait pas.
Non.
C'est vrai qu'il s'est cuté dans Bruxelles. Hein. Tu le vois.
Il est rentré un peu fort.
Ouais.
Hein. Ouais.
Mais IFI, même sur le premier train, il était au-dessus.
Ouais, il était vite. Non, ils ont été plus vite que nous, ça c'est sûr.
Ouais.
On est là, on doit être.
Non, mais de toute façon, ceux qui se sont ratés, c'est United.
Ils ont fait quoi?
Bah, il s'est retrouvé derrière la BHK, il s'est foiré.
Il s'est fait 3 à la fin quand même.
Ouais.
C'était assez particulier, il s'est mis à pleuvoir un peu à la fin, mais ouais, j'ai tout mis ensemble. On va dire que c'est le meilleur qu'on pouvait faire aujourd'hui. Malheureusement, on n'est que P2, mais bon, c'est un super résultat. Partir première ligne pour demain, c'est top. Ouais. Je pense qu'on a une très bonne voiture en version course. On l'a vu un peu, surtout en free practice 1 où la piste était sèche. Et ouais, on a une bonne carte à jouer, je pense. Donc on va faciliter un peu la vie de Paul en partant première ligne. Et puis on va essayer de pousser avec Paul Lou jusqu'à la fin pour ramener un bon résultat au team encore.
The party don't start till I come through. I said the party don't start till I come through. I said the party don't start till I come through. We came to party, we couldn't stop it if we tried. Just get it started, the party.
Take you back, spitting facts, you gotta live with that. Who got it? Who want it? No problem. We mob it. Who got it?
Round 5 of ELMS is just about to get underway here at Spa-Francorchamps, and I am with the poleman in LMP2, Yiffy Ye. So Yiffy, first pole of the year here in Spa-Francorchamps, 4 hours of Spa, just about to get underway. What are your expectations?
Yeah, it was great qualifying yesterday to secure the pole position, and today we can see the track is still wet, but it's sunny in the sky, so it'll be interesting the first 2 stints. We'll try to stay in the lead, stay out of trouble, and see how things goes for us.
Great day for cool racing because car number 17 got their 5th pole of the season in LMP3 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have worked very hard as a team, and yesterday was the best reward to our hard work, so we'll keep going.
And it's paid off, so fantastic. And in LMGTE, it was car number 57, Castellet Racing, that got the pole. Let's go racing.
Trouble for Paul Lafargue on the warm-up lap. He spun. That's a disaster. Nick Croyton alone on the front row after the spin for Paul Lafargue. Away we go. Race 5 underway here at Spa. Battle for second place. Croyton takes the lead. Duncan Tappy into second from fourth on the grid, ahead of Julien Canal in the Panis racing car. And IDEX Sport having to start right at the back after that spin. Paul Lafargue unable to retake his place in the lineup on the formation lap. It is pretty damp offline. Good battle shaping up for third place. Matthias Kaiser, Ferdinand Habsburg, the Prema racing car. Here he comes along up the outside. Everybody on slicks, but it is very wet offline. Duncan Tappy shadowing the leader. Being bold, Ferdy Habsburg tucks back in. Lots of cars trying to make a move here, but it's going to be treacherous offline. Trouble at Les Combes, LMP3, that's the CD Sport and Michael Jensen. There's Jean-Ludovic Faubert and Michael Christoval. White and blue car, Matthias Kaiser running away in third place. Still in fourth place, Julien Canal, then Ferdy Habsburg right behind the red, white and green. There's trouble, and in the gravel, Rob Hodes, Team Virage. And Paul Lafargue, IDEX Sport, contact or broken suspension either way, that left rear pouring smoke. And with Rob Hodes off the racetrack, it looks like we are going to have a safety car. We are indeed. So the battle for third and all the other ones will have to wait for a little while until the Team Virage car is safely sorted out. And on this cold, damp track, tyre temperatures are going to be very hard to keep alive. Stewart's looking at the start of Duncan Tappy and the United car. Should have been side by side or behind the Panis car, was not at the start. Vincent Vos, there's Jean-Denis Delatraz in the Prema garage, and here's Paul Lafargue in the IDEC garage. What happened?
Just caught out. I mean, difficult track condition for sure. You know, when you're on slicks with a greasy track like that, is not easy. I think, you know, mistake can happen, and unfortunately it happened to Paul, so we had to start from the back, because if you don't rejoin your position at a certain point on track, you have to start at the back. And then he made a mistake, you know, when you are at the back of the track, cars everywhere, visibility is difficult, and yeah, he lost the car, and we damaged the rear end of the car.
All eyes on the screen in the United garage and in the new grandstands overlooking Rédillon. Back to green flag racing, and our race leader, the poleman, once more pulls away. Niklas Croyton ahead of Duncan Tappy. Matthias Kaiser right there in the 21 Mullner Motorsport car as well. Then the number 9 Prema car, the red and white and green machine. Up from 6th on the grid, Ferdy Habsburg. Right behind the leader, Duncan Tappy, not getting a good run through Eau Rouge, but Ferdy Habsburg has. Look, here comes the red and white car, sweeps around Thomas Kaiser in the Mullner Motorsport machine for third, and Habsburg is on the dry side of the track, so he'll be able to brake later. Yes, and Kaiser knows it. Drops back into fourth as Habsburg closes on Duncan Tappy, who lost momentum there in Eau Rouge. Konrad Grunewald, the American driver in the yellow Kessel Racing Ferrari, leading in GTE. There's Ahmad El Harti, the TF Sport Oman Racing Aston, ahead of Sarah Bovey in the Iron Lynx Ferrari. So that's your top three. Again, the Iron Lynx car right in the mix at the head of the GTE field. You feel that they are long overdue a win in that car, on board with the American. LMP3 cars right in front. They'll have a little bit more acceleration up the hill, but their minimum corner speed is barely any different to the GTE cars, and that always presents a problem for the GTE leader early in the race, actually being held up by the P3 cars. Well, here's the lead of LMP3 into Europol's Charlie Cruz, ahead of Tom van Rompuy in the DKR engineering machine, and Andrew Bentley for United Autosports. That's the 1, 2, 3, and they're just creeping away from the rest of the LMP3 queue, headed by the number 2 United Autosport car. But Andrew Bentley, definitely the man who looks like he wants to make a move any moment now. Up to the bus stop they come. Here are the lead three. Andrew Bentley on the outside. How much grip is there? It looks nice and dry. Is it nice and dry? It is nice and dry. He goes around the outside of 2 for the lead. Bold stuff under braking there from Andrew Bentley. United lead from Inter Europol and DKR. And in 4th place is Josh Cagill in the second United car, the number 2 machine. Up to La Source, he throws it down the inside to Tom van Rompuy. And through he goes. Has he got the traction he has from Rompuy? Just stays out of the gravel. Trouble at La Source. Oh, 17, that's Maurice Smith, the championship leader for Cool Racing, tagged by Horst Felbermeyer Jr. And that is trouble. Looks like a right rear problem for the points leaders. Fabio Scherer round the outside. This is for 7th place. Julien Canal for Panis Racing. Scherer got the run through Eau Rouge and made the pass up the Kemmel Straight. Through he goes. That's the Kessel car. There is Konrad Grunewald. That is the GTE leader, or was. And this is in Eau Rouge. Does he get on the wet? Looks like it. Huge looping spin all the way across the road in Rédillon. Oh my goodness, how did Sarah Bovey miss him? Wow. Konrad Grunewald makes it back to the pits. And fresh tyres going on to the Kessel Racing Ferrari. Still full course yellow after those incidents. Maurice Smith dragging the Cool Racing car back. Anything they can do now to earn points is going to be crucial. Full course yellow remains out. They will work as hard as they can to get this car back in the race to get a points finish. The title is on the line. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Duncan Tappy right behind him, Ferdy Habsburg, green, and as they come out of La Source, perfect timing, Tappy just gets the hammer down quicker. Cool Racing leading from United Autosports. This is the battle for 2nd place then. The Prema Racing car right behind. Habsburg very good at getting the run through Eau Rouge and along the Kemmel Straight. There's the race leader in front. And here comes Ferdy. How dry is it? It's dry enough, isn't it? Yes, it is. He's on the inside. Big lock up there. Duncan Tappy runs straight on. So does Ferdinand Habsburg. Habsburg has a clearer run to come back on track. And he is in front. Tappy is in 3rd then. Habsburg in 2nd. And Ben Fiscal closing in fast in that blue and black Algarve Pro car. I think Habsburg is giving the place back. Yes, he is, to Duncan Tappy. And now look, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, that's all together. So Duncan Tappy in the middle of the sandwich, Ferdy Habsburg and Ben Fiscal coming up with a head of steam. He fancies his chances here, doesn't he? Look how wet it is, still offline. The track is gradually drying. United 1-2 in LMP3, but for how long? Josh Cagill under real pressure from Inter Europol. Smashes Kapvik, he gets in very late. Cagill struggling for pace. Can't get the traction he needs. Almost over-rotated himself into a spin there, and the Inter Europol car on the inside. Here he comes. Good pass. Classic stuff at La Source. Deep on the inside. Now you can't run out wide. That is a real block pass. But look at Josh Cagill, stuck to his tail like glue. On the Kemmel Straight. Oh my goodness! Into Europol's Fabio Scherer having a big weave there at Tiemann van der Helm. Jerome de Satelaire coming up hot behind Charlie Cruz in the Inter Europol competition car. This is the battle for 6th place now in LMP3. And Inter Europol with the inside line, but Jerome de Sadelaire's pace up the hill was just impossible to hold him back. Change of place. Here's 2 veteran GT racers, Pierre Arret and Christian Ried. They've been at it for more than a quarter of a century each. Oh, and Arret just overstepping the mark there at Bruxelles. Newcomer Juan Manuel Correa getting ready to make his ELMS debut. For 3rd place, Fabio Scherer and Ferdy Habsburg. Scherer trying to hang on the outside line, couldn't hold on to it, so the Prema car is now up to 3rd spot. Great opening stint from Ferdy Habsburg. Second place battle in traffic. Duncan Tappy, Ferdy Habsburg behind him and coming in hot. Oh, and contact. Tappy trying to shut the door very late. Around the outside goes Fabio Scherer, goes by them both. Scherer up to second for Inter Europol. Tappy in third, Habsburg right there in fourth. Pit stop for United number 22, Duncan Tappy out like a shot, and in slips Phil Hansen. Leaders are all in. Here's the Prema car, Ferdy Habsburg out, handing over to Juan Manuel Correa, having his first drive in European Le Mans Series. Julian Canal hands over as well to Joop van Uitert at Panis.
That's my job out there, to try and bring the car back in one piece. We've had a bit of damage in the last couple of races, which has hindered the other boys when I've handed it over to them. So unfortunately I didn't quite fulfill that ask. There was a bit of damage. Obviously I had a pretty good battle with Habsburg out there, and I think it was just a racing incident where I cut back and he was there, but hopefully the car's not too damaged and the other boys can finish it off for us.
Just over 90 minutes into the 4 hours of Spa-Francorchamps. Here's the lead battle. Inter Europol versus Cool Racing. Nico Lapierre aboard the Cool car. Fabio Scherer in the Inter Europol car. Lapierre flying the long way around the outside as Scherer gets held up in traffic. Lapierre very brave in Piff Paff, gets eased off. Scherer had his elbows right out there. Didn't really care there was another car there. And I don't think Nico Lapierre is going to be best pleased. Oh, huge moment! Mulner Motorsport, Ugo de Wilde. Wow! Now, was there contact with the Rinaldi Racing Ferrari, or did it just swap ends on him? Not sure. Well, looks like it might just have spun as he came around the Rinaldi car. And de Wilde very much chastened by that, I imagine. Oh! And a puncture. Well, perhaps given the lurid spin, that's not a surprise. Now he's got to slow it down and bring it back to the pit lane in one piece. Come on, Ugo. You had the warning sign. Come on, baby. Out of the gravel, out of the gravel, out of the gravel. Okay. Now, back to the pits safely. Here's the battle for the lead again. Nico Lapierre once more with Fabio Scherer. He will be very cautious about showing his nose, though, to the Swiss driver. Scherer might be having a word or two with the stewards. Yeah, there you go. They've already warned him about driving standards. He's nearly had one car off on the Kemmel Straight. Did have Nico Lapierre off as well. And that is not going to earn him any friends. Contact here is going to be a big accident. Scherer really needs to just calm down a little. Lapierre is through, and he'll be breathing a sigh of relief at that. Oh, trouble at the pit entry. This is Philippe Bourgain in the Algarve Pro car, in for Sophia Flörsch here. Well, makes it back into the pits, but there is a full course yellow. Nico Lapierre has service. Fabio Scherer in the pits as well. Still full course yellow. Driver change. Sarabovi handing over to Dorian Pau. Frederick Schandorf in the Kessel Racing Ferrari. And when that Kessel Racing car spun in front of Sarabovi, that must have been a real heart-in-the-mouth moment.
First, I have to say sorry to my mom. She's here. She was in the radio. I'm quite sure she had a heart attack, so sorry about that, Mom. Yeah, I saw him spinning. I was thinking that he wouldn't come back, and then all of a sudden the car changed complete direction, and reflex, you know. So I'm very lucky, I think, that I managed to avoid it, because that kind of crash can happen very easily, very quickly. It's another proof that Spa-Francorchamps, you need to respect it a lot, and yeah, I'm glad that we managed to get out of it without anything.
Closing on the 2-hour mark as we go back to Green Flag Racing, Cool Racing and United Autosports. Nico Lapierre under pressure from Phil Hansen here. Hansen got the bit between his teeth, looking to go the long way round the outside as they sweep up the hill. Fantastic stuff, and he keeps it legal as well on the exit of Blanchiment. Brilliant move by Phil Hansen, and Nico Lapierre coming right back at him in the bus stop. The United LMP2 car may be the blocker here. Now, can Hansen get the drive? Can Lapierre get the drive? They're going round the number 3 United LMP3 car. Hansen looking down the inside. Too late to send it deep. Big looker from Lapierre. He goes straight on. Wow, Phil Hansen takes the lead in a way he was not expecting. He was hoping to pressure up behind Lapierre. I don't imagine that he saw that error coming. And Nico will be absolutely livid with himself for that error at La Source. LMP3 battle for 4th. Ross Kaiser, blue and black for 360 Racing. In the familiar yellow and green of Inter Europol is Nicolas Pino, the Chilean driver, and they're closing right in on the number 3 United Autosports car that's in 3rd. So this is 3rd, 4th and 5th all together. Pino sends it down the inside into Campus and holds it together on the curbs. Nice move. Johnny Adam, Oman Racing with TF Sport Aston Martin. Got the run here on Matteo Cressoni. Oh, 4 wheels off Rédillon, so he might end up having to give this back if he makes the pass stick. Up the Kemmel Straight. He didn't make the pass because of going offline, but around the outside, can he be late on the brakes? He can. And he goes off track as well. Now he is going to have to give that one back, isn't he? And he does. But immediately starting to attack again all over the back of that yellow Ferrari. These battles raging on with half the race left to go.
I really love those conditions when it's mixed, wet, dryish, and that was the key. How I drove through the field. For sure, it needs some luck with traffic and everything, but it worked out perfectly. The car felt today quite decent, so really happy with the performance we had today.
Absolutely, there's some great pace there. But can you just tell us about maybe the contact that you had with Nicolas Lapierre from Cool Racing, because you were really kind of battling it out for the lead at one point?
Yeah, we had a really good fight till this point. Sadly, we had a contact. I think I couldn't really do anything different because I was fully on the inside on all the tire, and he turned quite into me, so we touched and I had to contest here, so he went off.
Oh, there's trouble for Inter Europol. That's the 43 car, so that's Fabio Scherer's teammate. David Heinemeier Hansen tries to loop it around, does a spin and a bit. Now back in the right direction and down the hill into Eau Rouge. But look how slowly he's going, and look how quickly behind him up comes Prema and Panis. So Prema, Juan Manuel Correa, first time here in ELMS, and behind him Joop van Uyten. Van Uyten with a head of steam in the Panis car. Correa's going the long way around the outside. Where's Van Uyten going? Is there room on the inside? There is, because David Heinemeier Hansen was defending from the Prema car, and through, past both of them goes Joop van Uyten, and he gets ahead of the Iron Dames Ferrari as well to put a blocker in between himself, Prema and Inter Europol. Leaders back in the pits. 90 minutes to go here in Spa, and the weather getting better all the time.
That was very close. The track was drying. I was so close to flat the lap before, so I used a bit more road on entry, and my left rear got into a little bit of water, and the rest is, it was a ride. It was exciting. And thank you, Sarah, for not collecting me. Luckily, the car's in one piece. We came in, we got some new tires, and we're in P2 right now, so still got a bit of time to go. Hopefully, my teammates carry me the rest of the way. So
you were only called up, what, 10 days ago, you just said to me, to come and join the team for 4 hours of Spa. So first time in ELMS?
Yeah, first time, having a great time. Great group of drivers, lots of fun. Track's amazing, car's amazing. So yeah, really happy to be here.
LMP2 battles are relentless. Cool Racing now with Yiffy Yi on board, up behind Richard Bradley in the number 30 black and green Duquesne team car. And Bradley runs out a little wide here around the outside. Yiffy Yi, great move from the Chinese driver. And he'll have to find his way past the Iron Dames Ferrari before they start to speed up the hill. He does. GT leader in the pits, so Freddie Schandorf handing over to Mikkel Jensen, Ferrari factory superstar. Could well be part of their hypercar program next year in the World Endurance Championship, but they lead GTE. On board with Will Stevens, Racing Team Turkey. All battle here. Richard Bradley in the Duquesne car doesn't want to give it away, but through goes Will. Great move by the Racing Team Turkey driver into Eau Rouge. Up to 60 goes. United Autosport leading with a little over 90 minutes remaining. Panis in second, Prema in third. There is Tom Gamble in the 22 United car. And drama for Mulder Motorsport pretty much from the start of this race. Thomas Laurent parks the car. They are out. Panis in the pits. This is Nico Jamat in the pits too. Car number 9, that's Louis Delatraz Prema. Father Jean Denis, the ex-Grand Prix driver, watching in the pits with WRTE boss Vincent Vos. We saw them a little earlier in the race. So who's going to win the battle on pit road? Panis getting ready, waiting for the fuel. Waiting. Feels like forever. Away goes the Prema car and the Panis car. Can he get released in front? He does, just. Oh. No tyres, no driver change. So Nico Jamat and Louis Delatraz back at it, nose to tail. As past them flies the Inter Europol car that's now moved up to 4th place. So they come out right behind him. Well, look at this. Safe release, unsafe release. It was close. United in the pit lane. This is the race leader, Tom Gamble. Fuel only. Battle between Panis and the number 9 Prema car. Bouncing on the brakes, Louis Delatraz on the curbs. Oh, look. They'll be a little damper than the racetrack, just drifts out a little wide. No drama though, no damage luckily. Lead battle in GTE, the pink Ferrari, Michel Gatting for the Iron Dames. Kessel Racing, it's not the yellow Iron Lynx Ferrari, that's Kessel Racing's Mikkel Jensen. The Dane closing in on the Dane. Here he comes, he's got a good head of steam up the hill, good run through Eau Rouge. Michel Gatting with the inside line, but he now dives to the inside under braking, and through he goes. So Mikkel Jensen takes the lead in GTE. Race leader Tom Gamble in LMP3 traffic, looks to come up the inside. Alex Capadia, and James Littlejohn, contact. Capadia unsighted, trying to let the United car through, ran into the back of the Nielsen car of James Littlejohn. Full course yellow, and trouble for Yiffy Ye at the pit entry.
Looks like Alex just lost it under braking and fired James off, so that was a bit unhelpful. But, what do you do? It's not James's fault. He was just doing a good stint, and, we're still in third, so it depends, how the car is now, I think.
I mean, it must be frustrating for you because you had such a great start, didn't you? I think you worked your way up the field. You passed 6 cars in the first lap.
Well, I brought my kids, right? So I have to impress, else I don't want them thinking Daddy's rubbish. So yeah, I had a great start. The car was really good on the hot slicks on wet track. I just seemed to have more grip than the people around me, and I think I got 4 cars into turn 1, and then I had another couple. I think I had 1 guy into Lake Com, and then I overtook somebody else down into Pouan, and so suddenly I was P6. So that was pretty cool.
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow removed. Full course yellow removed.
Everybody off the limiter, back up to speed, and just over half an hour left. Oh dear, Louis Delatraz, little lock up there. Tyres just a bit too cold, perhaps. Brakes a bit too cold and grabby as well. Here's Nico Jamat coming out of the pit lane in the 65 Panis racing car, and he will be in 4th place. The Prema car right in front, there he goes, up Rédion. United still leading, 43 into Europol in 2nd place. So half an hour to settle who's going to win here in Spa. Green and yellow, Pietro Fittipaldi, second in LMP2. Louis Delatraz, third under the bridge there. Fourth place, Nico Jammer. That is how close it is. They are half a minute behind the number 22 United Autosports car there of Tom Gamble, with 25 minutes to go, and a penalty for causing a collision. That's for the 31 TDS Racing by Vaillant's machine. Well, there is the Panis car in fourth place, Nico Jammer. Trying to chase down Louis Delatraz and Pietro Fittipaldi. Race leader Tom Gamble. Oh! Those tyres starting to feel the pace inside the final 15 minutes. In terms of the championship, Prema currently will need to wait until Portimão to see if they can clinch the title ahead of Panis and United. And that's why the chase of the Panis car of this Prema car is so critical to the championship. Ferdy Habsburg can't quite watch, can he? Ferdy Habsburg and Juan Manuel Correa may not be able to affect Prema Racing's destiny, but Louis Delatraz could. What's the gap to the Inter-Europol car, Pietro Fittipaldi? 1.1 seconds, 7.5 minutes. What's that? Maybe 4 laps. It could happen, couldn't it? He's got to get by the Oman Racing TF Sport Aston first down into Eau Rouge. And that's a quick car down the hill. Delatraz coming inside though. The chase is on. Can Prema seal the deal here in Spa? Pietro Fittipaldi trying to keep his nose in front. Inter-Europol would love this. Battle for the lead in LMP2 Pro-Am is for 6th place overall. AF Corsa Alessio Rivera, the Red Racing Team Turkey car. Will Stevens trying to close him down. Leader on the final lap, so 1 to go for Will Stevens. Can the ex-Formula 1 driver make the pass and take Pro-Am victory for Racing Team Turkey? Start of the last lap, Alessio Rivera with his rival right behind, 6th place overall and LMP2 Pro-Am honours. Will Stevens, Alessio Rivera senses the moves coming, he's right, he covers, then goes back online, then Stevens comes over the curbs on the inside, Rivera over the curbs on the outside. This is going to be a great last lap, isn't it? Down they come into Eau Rouge. Alessio Rivera knows that Will Stevens will be coming. Here we go, up to Les Combes. Stevens shows his nose, tucks back in. Rivera didn't even bat an eyelid. Knew he wasn't quite close enough. Race leader Tom Gamble heading towards the checkered flag. The Proton competition, Porsche stays out of the way. It is going to be the first win of the season for United Autosports. At last! Last corner for Pietro Fittipaldi, and Louis Delatraz throws it up into the bus stop. Did not get there. Second for Inter-Europol, third for Prema. Confirmation, United winning from the Inter-Europol Prema battle. Inter-Europol winners in LMP3 though, and Kessel Racing taking GTE victory. Victory at last for Duncan Tappy, Tom Gamble and Phil Hansen.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year to say the least. We felt we were strong all weekend long from the beginning on Wednesday all the way through to now. Qualifying wasn't great, but you know the guys did a great job. Duncan got us into second, and it really came alive in the cold conditions. So yeah, it was ours to lose today, and I think we really maximised what we did.
United finally make it to the top step of the podium, but second for Inter-Europol and third for Prema means that the championship narrowly remains alive for the final race in Portimão. The chase for the race in LMP2, Alessio Rivera leading into the final corner, outbraking himself. Will Stevens cutting back on the inside, drag race to the line, it's going to be close, very close. And Stevens and Racing Team Turkey take it by 42 thousandths of a second after 4 hours of racing. Wow, LMP2 Pro-Am win for Racing Team Turkey from AF Corsa and 47 Algarve Pro in third, despite that last lap drive-through. So Racing Team Turkey maintain their points advantage. Victory for Kessel Racing in GTE, Mikkel Jensen sealing the deal. After the race was started with that lurid spin for new boy Konrad Grunewald, replacing Takeshi Kimura here in Spa.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Conrad made it a little bit exciting in the Rouge. So very happy we actually managed to get through that. We were very close to get hit from the Iron Lynx car. And after that, we just tried to manage the pace. We knew we had a good lineup to manage towards the end. And yeah, amazing to get our first ELMS win here.
Takeshi Kimura racing in another championship in Japan, so Conrad stepping in. They take the top step of the podium from Iron Lynx with Absolute Racing, the top Porsche, in third place. But Proton competition with the 77 Porsche are the points leaders as we head to the season finale in Portimão. As their LMP2 teammates took second overall, Inter-Europol's LMP3 team claimed victory in their class. Spa was a good weekend for the Polish team. And after a tough start to the year, that is their third straight win.
It feels amazing. It's one of my favorite tracks too. It's my birthday race weekend, so it's the ideal way to finish it off. Now we are leading the championship too by 17 points, I think. So it's been an ideal weekend. The car was fantastic. The team did an amazing job. So these two guys did an amazing job. He was rapid at the end, so very, very happy with it. And yeah.
Third went to Nielsen's Tony Wells and James Littlejohn. DKR's Sebastian Alvarez, Alexander Bukansov and Tom Van Rompuy finished second in car number 4. But a third straight win for Inter-Europol puts Nicola Pino, Charlie Cruz and Guillermo Oliveira firmly on course to try and clinch the title in Portugal.
Spectacular, what a show. Round 5 of this ELMS 2022 calendar is well and truly in the books. Talking about calendars, the 2023 calendar has just been revealed. We will be going to these circuits in this order: Barcelona, Imola, Le Castellet, Aragon, Spa and Portimão. In fact, Portimão will be the last stop of this season, so we'll see you in 3 weeks in Portugal. Goodbye.